Today I'm going to talk about 4 myths that usually students and parents have in mind before you sign up for ACCA as a qualification. Myth number 1: ACCA is all about accounting. Now, yes, ACCA stands for Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, which obviously means that accounting is one of the core pillars or one of the core subjects of ACCA, and it is a skill that the ACCA qualification will train you to become experts in. There's no doubt about it. But along with accounting, there are a lot of business focused subjects. Okay, so you will study legal subjects like law and tax. You study leadership, so you study about modern day technology. You study a lot of financial management. You study a lot of costing and performance management in organizations. Okay, you study audit and assurance. So you study a lot of subjects that give you skills to run a good business. And somewhere, if I see these subjects are a wonderful mix of subjects you study if you were to do an Indian CA qualification. Okay, but this is from a global perspective. And you also study a lot of subjects that you would study while doing an MBA in a B school. So it's somewhere like a combination of both. So I would just sort of conclude by saying that ACCA is a business and finance qualification. Accounting, no doubt, is a subset of this whole structure. But you study a lot more subjects that makes you very, very business savvy and trained to work as a part of a business organization. The second myth that a lot of students have is that ACCA should be undertaken only if you want to travel abroad. Okay, now ACCA as a qualification, has gained so much of recognition and so much of popularity with employers across the world, including India. And particularly that is because it gives you a lot of rich, like I said, business skills, a lot of global skills that help you perform, a lot of global jobs. तो अगर आप आज देखेंगे तो इंडिया में बहुत सारे कंपनीज हैं, lot of MNCs that have opened shops in India that want to hire ACCAs and give them jobs right here in India. Okay, why? Because जिस तरह का स्किल और जिस तरह का टैलेंट और जिस तरह का नॉलेज और पर्सपेक्टिव चाहिए वो जॉब्स करने के लिए, दिस क्वालिफिकेशन ट्रेन्स यू फॉर. So if you're somebody who's looking at settling in India, okay, this is absolutely a good qualification for you. If you're thinking at moving out of India, no doubt that it is a passport to going out of India. Yeah, because it has got global recognition, and every big financial capital of the world that you go to, people will know and recognize this degree. Okay, so please remove from your minds that ACCA should be undertaken only if I want to travel abroad. Whether you want to travel abroad or whether you want to stay in India, in a top city in India, you will find a job and this qualification will be with you. The third myth that a lot of students have in mind is that because ACCA is a global qualification, it's going to be very, very expensive. Okay. Now, let me take 2 steps back and explain to you that expensive or not is a very relative term, and you need to compare ACCA's cost with a lot of other degrees that are alternatives, and then decide whether it is expensive or not. Okay. And just for comparison's sake, I'm going to take 2 or 3 degrees which generally are alternative to students pursuing commerce in India. So if you're going for an Indian degree like a CA or a CS, okay, the average cost of doing CA or CS, including the institute's fees of registration, exam, books, coaching, all in all put together, it's cost anywhere between 4.5 lakh of rupees very easily. Okay. If you take a global degree like international CFA, if you take the registration fee, the exam fee of the 3 levels that you pay in US dollars, you add the cost of your books and you add the cost of your coaching, again, you would have to make an investment of anywhere between 4.5 lakh of rupees or even more easily. Okay. Another alternative that commerce students always have is doing an MBA after finishing graduation. Now, any B school in India you go to will not charge you anything less than 15 to 20 lakh of rupees for a 2-year PGDM or MBA program. Okay. And now, if I take the cost of doing ACCA, on one hand, you're paying the professional body, the ACCA professional body in pounds. You pay for your registration, you pay for your exam fees, you pay for your student subscription, all of that you pay in pounds. And then, of course, to your learning provider, you pay for your coaching and your books. All in all, put together, usually is an investment of anywhere between 4.5 to 5 lakh of rupees. And of course, if you are somebody who's claiming exemptions, like you're a graduate or you are a CA student, a CA interqualified, or you're a chartered accountant, and you have certain exemptions, then obviously this overall investment figure also goes down because you don't have to appear for all the papers. So if you look at these 4-5 degrees, the cost of doing ACCA is almost in the same range as doing maybe an international CFA, maybe a little more than what you would spend if you were to do a CA or a CS, and much less than what you would spend if you do an MBA. Okay, so it's an investment. The payback of that investment is typically your first job, and relatively, if you see, it's not expensive compared to the other alternatives you have in hand. The fourth myth that a lot of students have is ACCA should be undertaken after graduation. बहुत students ऐसा सोचते हैं, I'll finish my FY, SY, TY, फिर शुरुआत करेंगे, because college is, busy life and you have projects to do and things like that, right? Now, this is a very big myth which I want to clear. Firstly, ACCA can technically be undertaken after grade 10. So there are a lot of students who actually start ACCA while they are in their 11th and 12th. But if you ask me, a very fair stage to begin ACCA is while in your 12th or after your 12th. I don't think you should delay beyond that, because the 3 years of your graduation is really whatever stream of graduation you're doing, it's really part-time. You have a lot of time available on hand, and you need to do something alongside graduation so that when you finish college, you are graduating with 2 degrees in hand, your graduation and your professional qualification. Okay, so ACCA, it is the right time to begin ACCA with grade 12 or at best post grade 12, and finish it by the time you're finished your TY. Having said that, for some reason, if you miss the bus, then ACCA has a lot of entry points. So first entry point is after graduation. So typically, if you're finished your BCom, you can start ACCA, where you get up to 4 exemptions in most of the cases. Second entry point is after doing your BCom and your CA inter. Let's say you are finished your CA inter and you're not able to clear CA final, and if you want to get to ACCA, they give you about 6 exemptions. And third is, of course, if you're a chartered accountant, they give you up to 9 exemptions. They also give you exemptions if you're a CMA, etc. So there's, we've got an interesting exemptions calculator, which I'm flashing on the screen. You can actually input your degree and check how many exemptions you have. But those are the cases where you take ACCA after another degree, or for some reason you didn't do ACCA with graduation and you want to start it alongside your jobs. In that case. But what's the ideal scenario? The ideal scenario is to do the entire qualification, finish all 13 papers, and the right time to begin it is, like I said, with grade 12 or after grade 12. On an average, it typically takes 3 years to finish the course. And, when you exit college, like I said, at the age of 20, you should exit with 2 degrees and 1 grand corporate job that welcomes you to the corporate world outside.